left, that's for sure, eh?
they they
Let's calm down. It's
they gave him a nice right left though. That's sure. Yeah, they were going toboggan on that one.
oh yeah. Anyways, get in the draft here. You see, Phoenix, I can't do this anymore. Phoenix and Shadow Demon banned out right away on the side of Team Aster, was banned out of PSG.LGD by Shadow Shaman. They're going right through this. I don't want to see Bristle back this time, though. Sorry for cutting your fun off, B-Cup.
No, it needed to stop 5 minutes ago. Oh my god. They ban out the Bristle, the Shadow Demon, and the Phoenix. But sorry. But they go back into the Wisp, Shadow Shaman, and Dazzle bans here for LGD. Timber gets banned to end off the first phase for Aster. And we'll see what LGD are going to ban out here last. It really doesn't just turn off. I'm kind of still giving a little bit of a Canadian accent, and it's not even on purpose at this point.
If you guys want to know how that started talking about me being from Canada and how I don't have a East Coast Canadian accent. You should hear
Awesome.
people from Newfoundland and what they sound like over there.
Or those people from Quebec, you know?
French Canada. No, thank you. Anyways, Keeper of the Light picked up first here. So same old, same old. This has been picked up first for whatever team we've been seeing here. Every single game now. I'm surprised it hasn't been banned. Seen a lot of success in these games as well.
It was not focused at all in the first series between eHome and Vici, and now it's been highly contested here between LGD and Aster.
Mm-hmm.
It's a surprise because I know there are a few teams, and I would say probably LGD and Aster are those two teams that really do focus on picking up the Coddle, and we've seen it. That's just where the contention comes from. Those two teams are probably the most two teams that are going to favor that hero, and then the Grimstroke comes in for LGD. Did we see this in game one, the Grimstroke, or was that last series? I'm already melding together on games.
That was I'm also melding together. That was the series before this one, I believe.
Yeah, because they went into the Grimstroke. I believe it was not successful though. Or no, we talked about it in the first game too, because you were talking about Soulbind not taking Soulbind at level. No, that might have been Mofar. All right,
no,
either or, Grimstroke picked up here for LGD and the Pangolier.
You know, I am mildly offended. I thought you fired Mofara to have me on. Sounds like you miss him already.
I do miss him. You know, maybe sometimes I'd rather be talking to the Poutine.
Oh, yeah. Pango picked up here. We saw that they did great success against a Dragonite in game number 1. You're talking about a Dragonite was a comfort pick for a lot of these Chinese teams. Pango picked. I'm surprised they did that. So for everyone who's just tuning in, the Pangolier in game 1 of this series, every time the Dragonite was near a wall, just managed to stun lock him. There was one time that the Pangolier managed to glitch himself out in the Roche pit and kind of like bang against the wall there, catching the Dragonite inside the Roche pit and just couldn't move, keeping him out of so many of these fights. So I'm not sure about this one.
Yeah. Chalice, he had to feel the effects of that rolling thunder all the time, making it impossible for him to do anything. Like you said, he got locked up in the Roche pit a couple times, and it was really just so difficult for him to deal with. And now Aster volunteering to have that, it looks like maybe either FY or Old 11 is going to have a fun time getting some revenge here on a DK.
Mm-hmm. Again, it is a safety pick, though. No matter or almost anyone you're against with the Dragonite, you're going to come out pretty even. It's too hard for a lot of people to bring you down. You have that Dragon's Breath to secure CS, reduce the enemy hero's damage. You have the Dragon's Blood. Well, I called it Dragon's Breath. It's Breathe Fire. Dragon's Blood to get that extra armor, HP regen to stay in the lane. So it lets you pick up your mid-hero. Even though you're revealing a little bit to what you want to do to the enemy team, you're still going to be fairly okay and have a lot of options open.
But that's also if it's mid, because we saw a Chalice that was in the safe lane there for LGD, which didn't work out too well. I wonder if Aster are going to play it. SCCC more. He does play this DK from time to time, but he's more of a flashier hero kind of player. I would say probably more Schwan to get it, but I know with just saying that SCCC will play it, so we'll see.
Hmm. Yeah, ban Monkey King here makes a bit of sense. Again, Monkey King is one of the heroes that does do decent when matched up mid against the Dragon Knight. Uh, he wants to sit inside the creep wave, so you're always going to get those Jingu stacks off. And with all that damage and the lifesteal that you get from it, it becomes a little bit too much for even Dragon Knight when he's maxing out his blood first to sustain in the lane.
Now LGD go to the gyrocopter. They could go and get a Wisp in the next phase and throw that Pangolier in the offlane with Grimstroke in the 5 and Wisp in the 4, or even the other way around where Grimstroke's getting a priority in farm. Morphling gets
Mhm.
banned out. They're thinking the same thing I am, where SCCC will see himself on a flashier hero. And they go to the Rubik. So that's a Rubik here for Fade, because Bobica should be playing the Keeper of the Light.
I really like it. I mean, finally taking Fade off of the Ricky. He played to great success in the first game. I really liked what he did with the Blink Dagger, getting onto the Keeper of the Light on the enemy team in the back line. Game number 2, PSG.LGD figured what they were trying to do with it. They shut him down, stopped him getting Diffusal and becoming another core. This game, he has a lot of spells to work with. I Again, getting call down's amazing. Missile's amazing. Rocket Barrage is okay. Anything from Pango's kit is pretty good, especially getting that Rolling Thunder. And it's a very easy spell to steal because generally you're not going to pop that. You're not going to pop the shield crash as soon as you get out of it.
The thing
And
about Rolling Thunder 2 for the Rubik is you don't spend that time winding up either. You just go. Like you're
mhm,
immediately in. And that's one of the things that I think really disrupts the fight is there's no lead up to it. You're just into the Rolling Thunder. You can get right on top of somebody, start the Rolling Thunder, and destroy them in a team fight as the Rubik.
yeah,
It really makes it difficult. Now they go into this sniper, which has shown to be popular in the 4 position. So
stop. You
FY
can
sniper
stop.
is a thing. It is a thing. It's like fetch. Stop trying to make it work, but it's working.
I was just casting with PD like a week or two ago when he brought up Force Type. I tried to change the topic as quickly as possible so it wouldn't give anyone watching any ideas. Now, I'm not saying it's not doable. Anything can work in Dota 2. I just don't want to see it in my games as a result of it being in this one. So please don't, you guys. But
It's
with
too
that
late.
said, it is a pretty good hero here, especially if it's played as a core, like mid and whatnot. I think it's very good against Keeper of the Light. Uh, I think you have a decent amount to save for it. You have frontliner. Like generally, you want to jump onto the sniper. But with a Pango on your team, he can use swashbuckle, disarm whoever goes on top of the sniper, and you can just melee him down. So I do like it here, and yeah, it does pretty well against the Will-O-Wisp. The Blinding Light is going to do a whole lot against the sniper either. If you do manage to gap that range, a lot of time he ends up building an MKB or like a Maelstrom, which is an accuracy item. Anyways, uh, I don't mind it here. Just hopefully not as a position 4.
Yeah, I'm trying to take a look at the Dota buff here for FY. Just, making it potentially something to look at. Although it keeps. Okay, that's why it's pulling. As much as I said FY's done Sniper before, I've misspoken. He's never played Sniper, according to Dota buff.
I hope not. I have a lot of respect for that man. I don't think he'd play for sniper.
This is, by the way, someone who says that they know the Chinese region so well. I didn't know that FY had never played that hero before. I totally went in there with confidence, but I'm blowing it up right now by calling myself out. So he's never done it. We'll see if he plays a hero that he hasn't played before. Aster
I'm
going to the Weaver, though? And what were you going to say before we talk
I'm
about that Weaver?
sure FY can play anything. If it be for sniper, then go for it.
He
Fuck
probably
ban
has one of those
nonsense.
items, one of those because he's got the glitched Rubik and the glitched Tusk item with the bleak hallucination. He probably has one for Sniper too, just waiting for this moment.
Mhm.
But Weaver picked up for Aster. It could be an offlane Weaver. I've been seeing a lot of that recently. First item into that Ags. Uh, Certainly not the worst thing in the world against this lineup.
Yeah, it's pretty good against a sniper, especially if that sniper doesn't have a lot of gold. If it is played on that position 4, you're able to gap close. The Pangolier is pretty good against Weaver. You can essentially make him useless by using that swashbuckle on him, getting that lucky strike off. He's not auto attacking anymore. He's just kind of caught out of position. He's used his initial ability to gap the distance. He's forced to time lapse out. This will be a core Weaver, though. Sometimes we see a support. I actually think that time lapse with the Aghanim Scepter is pretty undervalued right now. What with Glimmer Capes and Force Staffs nerfed recently, uh, is like a massive cast range to that time lapse ultimate with the Aghanim Scepter on the Weaver. It's only a 16-second cooldown. So it is one of the best saves in the game right now, especially with the Glimmer Cape and the Force Staff nerfed. But yeah, we won't be seeing that as a support.
So we'll see what Aster want to go to with this final pick. Final pick for the entire draft going to LGD. Ban of the Void Spirit makes me think that they're thinking FY is going to play on that sniper. And Night Stalker, this is something that Tsunami talked about during our first stream for We Play the other day. He said Night Stalker's been super undervalued. Like, he seems so strong, and with the fact that offlaners seem to get bullied in the banning of everything, where it usually is like Mars, Centaur, Timber, all getting banned, making sure that you don't have many options. Night Stalker, he thinks, is super undervalued. Do you agree with that, you think?
Yeah, I can see that. Again, dispels are a huge thing in Dota right now, like a lot huger than they were a number of years ago. One of the biggest things that Night Stalker has going for him is that AoE silence around him. There's no way to dispel it. The only way you can get rid of it is by going magic immune or like throwing yourself up into Yules for a little while. But it lasts so long, there's no way of dealing with it. And he's so tanky and has so much HP regeneration that he's just too hard to bring down. He just kind of walk at you and do tons and tons of damage. And again, he scales his attack speed and damage with Dark Ascension and with Hunter of the Night, so he ends up doing damage even though he doesn't have any items, and he has that massive utility from his W with his silence. So I I would agree with Tsunami there. I didn't really think of it, but once you start to put it together, it does make a lot of sense.
And that Kunkka gets picked, securing the FY sniper. It has happened. It is there. 4-position sniper. They're going to make it work better than Fetch. And I am so excited because I want to see what FY can do. It's always interesting to see him on those playmakers of the Rubik and the Tusk. I want to see him here with the sniper because it's the first sniper pro game according to Dota Buff. So I'm ready. However, it's not an offlane Weaver. It's a safe lane Weaver, and they go to XSS on the Night Stalker. So I thought
I'm
what would be an offlane
very
Weaver
displeased about this.
about the 4-position sniper. Your pubs are ruined, dude. I'm sorry, they're ruined.
My friends are
Everybody,
gonna laugh at me. My pubs are ruined.
if you play against
FY.
Neff, play 4-position sniper, or if you play with Neff, play 4-position sniper.
Yeah, whatever. Let's just get this game over with.
So
FY, one of the one of the players I respect more than anything else. One of the best position 4 heroes in the world. My favorite position is now playing support sniper. So this is the timeline that we live in.
FY might be my favorite player of all time especially because he was involved with that Vici team that won ESL New York that was the first event I ever went to with Ice 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 and Black Super. That was quite the lineup.
Yeah, Black's retired now, right?
He was playing for LGD International, but I believe he dropped from the team pretty quickly, or
That's the term
is
we
not
call it.
involved with the team.
We call it Chinese retirement. They eventually do come back.
Everybody always comes back. I think
You're never
PPD
really
will come
out of
back.
the game.
I think PPD and Universe are destined to come back.
I don't know.
Personally,
PPD's. I think he could do very well doing things on the business side. He's a very, very smart man. He almost
yeah.
had something going with NADCL. He was CEO of Evil Geniuses for a while. If he opts to do something else, I have no doubt in my mind that he will find success doing it. That is a very annoying thing as well. He's got the duck hunt thing for sniper.
30 seconds.
That
He's
should be
also
nerfed. The sound. It is very triggering to get hit and hear that sound every time you get headshot, especially
he's
when it
also
feels like
got
you're getting
the
hit 100%.
he's also got the YYF set
Yeah, he's got the
representing.
quick draw as well.
Quick draw.
This is I no bleak hallucination, no ethereal gem in there. I'll give it a pass. He's got the YYF set, so he's got a pass. He could have watched YYF recently in the
The battle begins.
Vulcan Championship event that was going on in China. The old boys were playing. It was a wild lineup that I think they ended up going like 0-1-3,
Who
but
was on that team?
it was Zhou, Chizbug, Afu, YYF, and ZSMJ. I mean, talk about a bunch of old school names there that were playing together, but they ended up getting destroyed. It was unfortunate.
Yeah.
I was really hoping for better.
Some of these Chinese squads that they put together, or what was it? Big God or something? What was that team again that had all
Yep.
those amazing players? That was Big God?
So Big God was a team that participated in DAC, a couple of TI qualifiers, and has a change in a bunch of rosters. Usually includes like Zhao 8 or as well as Ferrari, and they had Axe. She premiered with Newbie Boss, which was technically like a Big God iteration, but not really. And she had played recently with Blaze, the team that beat LGD in open qualifiers for the most recent major that got canceled. And that team is usually combined with like a bunch of old school players. So I think Banana was on there at one point.
Under attack.
Yeah, it's like every time I see these Big God teams, it's like the Dota equivalent of like whatever country's all-star team, right?
Dire's top tower is
Um,
Of
under
like
attack.
of a sports ball, whatever sports ball you might like.
It's
Big sports
like
ball
one of
fan here.
those. Because I think one of the iterations was like burning Ferrari, Zhao 8, and Chizbug, and a +1. Like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
The DAC lineup was burning Zhao 8, ROTK, Lanham, and Ice Ice. I mean, that is amazing. That is quite the lineup. And they did end up qualifying for that DAC.
It's crazy what these people can do without even like practicing together for that long. Like, you know what? We'll just go through quals. There's some North
Yeah.
Americans that used to do that. What was that squad called again? I'm getting distracted. Let's get back to the game. Looking at the CS charts, they had closed up until now. Taking a look at here at mid lane. Dragonite actually just a little bit behind, but I imagine that will turn around once he gets a couple of levels here. More points in his Breathe Fire. At that point, it becomes a little bit easier for him to sustain in lane against the Kunkka, and the Breathe Fire will help him outlast hit him.
And it'll be interesting to see Xuan on this DK this time, not sitting in the safe lane. Meanwhile, Rocket Barrage just knocking down XSS a bit. Not the worst thing in the world, as he's got himself a salve as well as a couple of tangos ready to just regen up in this lane. But you can see the damage that Chalice can output 1v1 right there.
He needs to be very careful playing around his creep wave and dealing with his gyrocopter, because again, if both these heroes catch him out, he needs to leave the lane, but as soon as he leaves the lane, he's taking tons of damage from Rocket Barrage.
Next Nova taking some damage here from Fade, who does have that Fade Bolt as well as the Telekinesis ready to go. Sometimes you'll see Fade Bolt into Arcane Supremacy, then into Telekinesis, but I think I had spoken about it earlier, just the Telekinesis coming through and you're looking to get something done, and that's exactly what they do there with XSS. But the Rocket Barrage comes out and it's a trade, so Chalice, he'll get a kill there on a Fade, they'll get the first blood out on X Nova. XSS getting credit for that one, and that's what you're going to be able to do with the Telekinesis Fade Bolt into a level 2 Void. On top of which, SCCC, FY, with the Sniper, the 4-position Sniper, getting it done. Can he get a second? Old 11 will get credit for the second kill, and they are getting a couple down in this bottom lane here for LGD.
I make it stop. I don't want to see this. Get it out of here. Out of my Dota 2.
Gosh,
Old 11 taking a lot of damage here, but there's that disarm, and oh, he does manage to get him as he's popping that TP2. Just caught him on the very edge of that, so you're gonna have to walk back to lane on this Pangolier here. He's not gonna be happy about that one.
Yeah, it keeps XSS though by himself. Will be getting some solo experience, as is Chalice. For the moment, it's more so that X Nova is just out of the lane. He's gonna take the sentry ward out of that camp, so it's no longer blocked. You can get that pull coming through, and now he's looking to get the pull from the bigger camp all the way through these trees, which is one I learned about in the last few months, and one I've started to use. That pull is something that has been very interesting ever since I learned it.
Wait, which one? Sorry? I was looking at the sniper angrily.
The pull from this camp, and then you take out the trees, you pull it straight up, and then it takes the creep wave all the way through.
Oh, yeah. Oh, got the trees up there.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's interesting that you can do
XSS.
that now.
Bottom tower is
Taking
under
a
attack.
lot of damage from the Rocket Barrage. They've got the Ink Swell coming through from X Nova. They might lose the Grimstroke, but the Rocket Barrage will claim the life of XSS. The homing missile changes targets because the Night Stalker died, and they don't get him a second.
And that's getting speed Chalice coming online up quite a bit, and he ended up getting that kill after Fade died there too, almost level 6 already.
Dire's middle tower
I
is
don't
under
think
attack.
Night Stalker and Rubik can be in his lane anymore once he has this cooldown like this. As long as he sends himself out a little bit of mana. That is super bad for Aster.
And it just happened to work out that way. He threw the homing missile onto the Night Stalker just to make sure that he was able to get the kill, and once he cleaned him up with the second Rocket Barrage, he changed targets and went to the Rubik. Oh my god.
The old Yui.
Dire's courier has been
The
killed.
fake out coming through. Jesus.
Mid lane.
Meanwhile, mid, Torrent comes in. They've got the Stroke of Fake from X Nova as well as the Silence with the Phantom's Embrace. And Chuan able to survive. He's got the rotations coming in from Fate as well as Bobica. FY being a nuisance, throwing the Ducks and the Quacks over onto these heroes. And, well, FY will back up. And they don't get anything out of it, but rotations aplenty from both sides.
Yep. Just a little bit too much HP regeneration and armor. What with both the tower and the dragon's blood. So being beside your tower right now actually gives you what, 1 HP a second right now? The tier 1? An extra 3 armor. So he was not going down there, getting dove, and they were forced to get back. Already back at full HP again. It's absolutely crazy how tanky Dragonite is, so we'll see if they can manage to catch him out this game with the Pangolier. Just lock him in place with the Rolling Thunder. I'm not sure they'll be so lucky, though.
Chuan's actually trying to go over towards top. They need to slow down Chalice, and this is the move that, honestly, he should be making. But, yeah, unfortunately, Chalice kind of smells this out and makes sure to not get caught.
Oh man, I'm getting angry at some of these Twitch chat comments. Quacking under pressure, give him the quacks. I don't want to see this support sniper. Top tower getting dove, but he throws out that call down. The Radiant side thinks better of it, and they decide not to dive. Again, they can't have TPs coming out to assist them. Pangolier does have Rolling Thunder, so they're quite easy
Oh
for
boy,
him to-
here comes LGD though. They've got themselves the Void on an X Nova, though, trying to run away this Grimstroke. He's taking a lot of damage. They'll throw the dust in. X Nova sits low, ends up dead. Schwan gets credit for the kill on that. The Rocket Barrage, though, on the Schwan, not going to be enough. The Rolling Thunder comes in from Old 11 on the high ground, knocks up both SCCC as well as Schwan. Now here comes the boat. They get the kill there onto the DK. SCCC alive for now, as they've got the Swashbuckle as well as the Urn Place on a Fade, but behind them with the Swarm and the extra damage is SCCC, Bobuka, and XSS. So they'll try to get Chalice, who picks up a regen rune, but it won't be enough. He ends up dead soon after, and Somnus might be there to join him in the grave as well. As Shikuchi is used, Faye gets the final blow, and Old 11.
He's got 20
God, this
stick
is
charges.
really falling apart for LGD.
Yeah, he's fine. I thought he was trying to bait that Night Stalker there, but again, did think better of it on XSS. That felt a little bit awkward, though. I feel like Old 11 was just a bit late with his teleport in. If they managed to catch them up when they were over here, I think the fight would have gone a lot better. A lot of that duration of the Pango ult was wasted chasing the enemy team as they were going away. And because of that, I feel like the fight didn't go as well through the LGD as it could have turned back around.
Jelly is a nice one to have. Unless you're a Phantom Lancer.
Picking up the neutral items they didn't have before after the team fight makes sense.
Is Old 11 going to have this? Okay, so he'll eat the royal jelly. Blue sent it back, and we'll see who picks up the royal jelly afterwards. Right now it's LGD though, still their 3 cores on top of the net worth. And as I say that, of course, SCCC passes the Kunkka, but it is pretty close towards the top. It's actually pretty close.
Yeah, there's a bunch of heroes sitting at 3.5.
Oh my god.
It's 3.4 to 3.6 right now for like so many heroes. Everyone's pretty close at the moment. Daytime hits, XSS has to be a little bit careful. Dark Ascension on cooldown for another 10 seconds. He might
Tries
go...
the TP away, the Torrent gets him before he's able to get the escape, and Somnus gets credit for the kill on that XSS.
Well, just being a little bit out of position as night turns to day, so Nightstalker goes down there. I remember when these two heroes were anti-synergy and you never wanted them on the same team as each other. Coddle and Nightstalker. Dayman and Nightman.
Master of the Nightman.
Champion of the Sun.
So 7 apiece right now, even about across the board here in terms of net worth. And actually not doing too bad is Fade on this Rubik. Sniper's 300 gold behind that, and he's got himself that level 6. Of course, quickly, first item, Ags, give it to me. FY's just trying to farm as much as he can over bottom.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. That ability decreases the cooldown of, decreases the cast time of your ultimate, and then increases the stun duration. So it becomes a true stun at that point. It ends up pumping out a lot of damage, actually. It's a lot of improvement from the old one. The old one was hilarious if you could get like 1 or 2 divines and then an Aghanim Scepter, just blowing people up from a million range. This one makes a little bit more sense. And this is what opened up people discussing Force Sniper to my ire.
Yeah, well, it's going to start to look good here once FY gets this Axe. He picks himself up that Ogre Axe to start. The artist formerly known as the Ogre Club. Not sure why they had to switch that and ruin the fun, but
I'm surprised the opposite go that one instead of Blade of Alacrity first. It'd help him farm quite a bit faster. He just decides that he's not going to be farming jungle camps or anything like that. Anyways, top lane, people getting in position on the side of Team Aster. Let's see a fight break out here. This is something that they want to defend, I think. And I eat my words immediately. They're not going to be able to take any tower in return for them getting this one, though.
Maybe bottom, but only old 11 here in FY. I don't think it's going to be enough, or it's not going to be as quick. So Aster certainly have an opportunity to defend. Everybody's got their TPs up and available.
They actually do end up getting this trade. Everyone poking around the jungle, getting some wards and D-wards off on the side of Aster. Bottom tower is taken by old 11 in the meantime.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
You got to be the Ultra Greed 4-position sniper and steal that tower away. Get that last hit.
That's the kind of 4-position snipers I'm going to be seeing in my games. It's the haha, I'm support, not really support.
I need my eggs, Neff. Come on. What are you talking about?
Yeah, stealing the farm from the carry as he tries to get the eggs. Things will be different once I get my Aghanim Scepter, you guys. As the carry has no items, then you lose. I saw this work on the PSG.LGD game, though. It was probably my teammates that did something wrong.
Is under attack.
I played it like a pro.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So right now things quieting down a little bit as we still see LGD's 3 cores towards the top, and Kunkka kind of recovering as well because he was sitting behind the Weaver at one point, now sitting here towards the top. He's got the axe, boat coming in. They'll get the assassinate and the boat, as well as the Tidebringer from Somnus to finish off SCCC.
Trying to chase him down with the Rolling Thunder. It is a very fast hero keeper of the light, though. Slow him a little bit down with the swashbuckle, but they're not going to be able to catch him. They're moving at 405 right now. No joke. Very quick hero keeper of the light, like 335 base movement speed, I believe. something like that. Who cares? Anyways,
it's one of those moments where I'm like, is it?
yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, you got it.
3:30. Yeah, it's 3:30. My bad. That was 5 off.
Exactly. You got no. You said 3:30 before. I heard you.
Yeah.
Radiant's top
That sounds
tower
like
is
something
under
I said.
The thing that
Ooh, this could
actually
be
impressed me two outposts.
Here we are.
11.
Managed to get away from that.
Bottom. Will-Wisp is committed, and they're just gonna take it out. Okay. 100 gold for FY. Perfect.
Bizarre. Will-O-Wisp came out a little bit late. I think they were unsure about how hard they wanted to chase that Pango there. Surprised the Pango managed to get out. They're all sitting on top of that high ground there with the Smoke of Deceit on. Nice dodge there by PSG.LGD.
So I'm very interested to see. I'm very interested to see XSS because he's going into the Axe, and it's not that you see Night Stalker so often in the offlane recently because there's so many options, and I think there's so many heroes that have been above him. Even the Tide Hunter, you've seen the Underward, Centaur, Timber, like so many heroes before Night Stalker, and he finally comes out in a game like this, and I'm always interested to see the build, and he looks like he's got it set in his mind to go to Ags, BKB, and Blink Dagger.
The Eggs is wonderful. Again, that disable slow in the AoE. It's very powerful. And you have so much in your kit that you don't really need to build damage items in order to have damage. You get all the attack speed in the world from 100 in the night. You get tons of damage from Dark Ascension. It scales 50, 100, 150. Like, you can just chase down supports without a care in the world as Night Stalker, without any items. So I think Tsunami is on to something. Might be a pretty smart guy, Tsunami.
He gets all the intelligence from the beard. It's where it's hidden.
Ah.
Shave the beard, shave the intelligence. Or so I've heard. I don't know what a beard actually feels like.
I had to quickly shave my beard when you told me that I had to get on cam for this.
This is awkward.
Cast. Yeah.
So, taking a look at where FY is in terms of this. Ag's just 2,000 gold away from finally getting that first item down. Meanwhile, Sonus, he's got the Shadow Boy going into the Heaven's Halberd next. They're trying to find something here, and they might be able to find Bobica. Replaced, and they've got the X. They won't need the boat, as they'll have the Rocket Barrage with it, and so much quick damage to just wipe the 4 with this Coddle. And they'll get themselves another kill, now extending that lead to 2,000 net worth.
Demon flying a little bit too close to the sun there. Unfortunately, they can't gap the distance pretty quick on PSG.LGD. So he ends up paying for that with his life and didn't really slow them down a whole lot as he wanted to with the Coddle. Not that the level 1 Illuminate was really going to slow them down too much anyways.
So Sniper hits that level 10, gets that cooldown reduction. Got Night Stalker who also hit that level 10. He goes into the 150 health instead of the 150 mana. So he's almost finished off that axe. Meanwhile, mid Elder Dragon form is used as well as the Dragon Tail to lock down Old 11. They've got the Telekinesis to continue that lockdown. Fade gets the kill there onto the Pangolier. X-Nova makes a rotation over, but it's not before they've already lost one.
I'm not sure that LGD can take the site with the Pango down. I think he's crucial to them being able to win these. But they do back off. You think better of it. All your ultimates up right now as well in Elder Dragon form. I don't know. They're very scared of the Gyrocopter. Oh, I did miss this. The BKB was finished on the Gyrocopter, so understandable. I decided to get back there.
Radiant are scanning.
So Pupil Skip for the Weaver, Grove Bow for the Gyrocopter, and he'll hold on to that. Giving him that extra range, that extra attack speed.
Spell Amp as well. Very good. People get bursted down surprisingly fast with Rocket Barrage. Gets that level 15 Talon, and he's got the Grove Bow as well. People are going to be... Oh no.
Gan was perfect, but they've got the Telekinesis as well as the Will-O-Wisp being used. That's going to lock up 3 of these heroes. The book comes in. So Chow's trying to survive with the BKB. He looks over at the Night Stalker, who does have this new Ags, and I believe this is the Ags reveal on the Night Stalker as the Illuminate comes in. There's a lot of damage on the FY. They've got the X on the XSS. They're trying to bring him back, but the Blinding Light keeps him alive. On the other side of this fight, though, the Rolling Thunder as well as the Swashbuckle. Can they get the kill? Stolen Boat, not going to be enough. SCCC drops, as does Chalice, but the Void really disrupting the LGD fight as they're looking over with Schwan nearby. So now FY looking for an Assassinate. Gets thrown forward. Soulblind on the Schwan, but it's not going to connect to anybody else. X through on a Fade, gets the kill. Somnus has one. Void hits onto both Old 11 as well as Somnus. But they're still trying to get something as the Spirit Vessel burns out XSS. And Aster, as time goes on, are losing more and more in this engagement. Another Assassinate flying forward from FY. He's got the Spirit Vessel on Abobica. Can they get the kill on this Scotto? Yes, they can with the X as well as the Torrent. They'll take out a 4-for-1 in the favor of LGD, and dominating spree for Somnus.
That looked so promising at the start of that fight. Again, they jumped onto the gyrocopter. They managed to get the stun off on him before he popped his BKB and almost bring him down. We ended up surviving with like what 250, 300 HP and ended up getting out of there. I think they needed to focus him down just a little bit faster, but they thought that they had him there. So damage problems now coming out from the side of Aster. Sure, they've got all these disables, but if you can't bring down the gyrocopter in the duration that he's stunned, when you get that kind of initiation off, you need to rethink your items.
This is going to become troublesome even more, especially with Sniper just 300 gold away from getting that Ags. We have the Ags soon on the gyrocopter as well. Things are really starting to hit potentially a bit of a power spike for the side of OGD.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, Courier's flying across the map right now. This looks ridiculous. This is not Dota as I remembered it. But Vladimir's offering coming. Is it going to the Pangolier? Yes.
Yeah.
Vladimir's offering
got the Halberd on
Dire's
Kunkka.
middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, there's a lot of items that just come online that are really gonna push the game into their favor. Meanwhile, Dragon Knight's a little bit away from his BKB still. If they opt to take a fight right now, I'm not sure there's a whole lot Aster could do to stop them. They've got decent high ground defense in the form of Keeper of the Light, but prior to that, I think that they can push down a tier 2 or 2 here. They smoke up.
Invisibility.
Oh.
Swarm Assassinate flies on to SCCC, but without that Ags, it's just manageable damage.
It's not the initiation that you want without the Aghanim Scepter, yeah. That was beautiful from the Weave without counting that out like that. That could have gone a lot worse if they managed to get that smoke off. But instead of continuing to push or go for a kill with that, the smoke popped by the Weaver, they just decided to get back. Push out lanes.
So 3,000 net worth lead here for LGD. Nothing too crazy at the moment. But it's not just the net worth lead, because it's not much, but it doesn't feel like Aster have the tools right now to get things done. I think maybe if they get themselves a pickoff or two, get themselves an Aegis, they can find themselves turning this game around quite a bit. Grimstroke Courier goes into Roche, probably trying to spot this out. He'll end up dead as CCC gets the kill on that Courier, and maybe that gives a thought to LGD that they are going for Roche. However, for the moment, they're just going to continue to stay in their lanes and farm as XSS is showing towards top. So,
yeah, they went a little bit further on the Dragon. I think would have caught out that gyrocopter in the jungle, but we might have even seen a repeat of what happened last time. Again, one of the major issues with this is a lot of the damage they're doing is physical, and they have Desolator on the Weaver. So the Deso minus armor isn't going to do a whole lot when you're playing against the Weaver or Gyrocopter. He's a hero 17 plus 4 armor right now, plus whatever he gets from Grimstroke if he uses the medallion on him, or Pango with the Vladimir's offering nearby. He's a very big boy who's hard to bring down. Once he pops that BKB and not doing magic damage to him, it's just over.
FY finishing off that Ags now has that stun duration, that 1.8 second stun duration every 12 seconds. At least for right now. It turns into 8 at level 3. And things are certainly looking a little bit better, especially with how long FY was able to survive in that last engagement over bottom. He threw 2 Assassinates out with it being on a 16-second cooldown. Now it's on a 12-second cooldown, and you've got Ags.
It goes to a 4-second cooldown. You have You have like a 2-second stun every 4 seconds, which is dealing 650 magical damage.
You could start that off on 2 heroes if you got the Soulbind.
But sorry, it's an 8-second cooldown, not a 4-second. I'm crazy. It goes down by 4.
Telekinesis is out onto the Kunkka, but there's the Assassinate thrown to the Rubik. They've got the Will-O-Wisp on top of this is the Ink Swell. Will pop. Again, after
Rolling
the
Thunder
Will-O-Wisp, the
on Rubik.
Rolling Thunder. It hits the Rubik, but
So say harvest.
is this going to be enough? Rubik now stealing that Rolling Thunder, but it's not turning into anything. They'll just both disengage.
Yes, the pay-to-lose cube. Beautiful. It is much, much easier to see the fact that Rubik's rolling around with it. Generally, a lot of the
Radiant's
spells from
middle
Rubik
tower
are pay
is
to
under
lose
attack.
with his Arcana. Just the same spell, but green.
Does it matter, though, if it's green?
Yes, because then you know that it is the enemy's spell. If it's like a lingering AoE or something.
I guess. I don't know if it factors too much.
We're about to be taken down here. I don't think they gotta realize that they're doing it now, but I'm not sure they can get there in time.
Pango's surviving for the moment. Old 11 also has that swashbuckler to run away from this DK. They're still inside the Roche pit, and it's going to be hard for them to close the distance, and they won't be able to do so. So he just comes into the hand of Chalice. They've got the swashbuckler as well as the Assassinate that stuns him up for 1.8 seconds. The BKB is going to be popped by Schwan, and he'll be out of here, but forcing out that BKB is not a good feeling. That is the 10-second BKB just to leave.
Yeah.
It's
Dire's
a
middle tower
heavy
has
price of
fallen.
And
admission.
with the Aegis in the hands of PSG.LGD, no
Dire's
reason to
bottom
not push
tower
when that
is
Dragon
under
Knight's
attack.
BKB is on cooldown. Go for it. They do have decent tools to be able to defend this in the
Dire's
form of
bottom
Keeper of the
tower
Light,
is under attack.
but Catapult here, they really want to push it.
Radiant's middle tower is
I'm not sure they're going to be able to bring down this Gyrocopter
Radiant
twice. If you can
structures
burst
are
him before he pops his
fortified.
BKB, that's wonderful, but I don't think they're going to be able to bring him down a second time. As soon as he gets back up, he pops it, and he's just able to take the fight here.
Look at the positioning from FY, or what was the positioning from FY. He is sitting so far back. Assassinate comes in, and SCCC unable to get the time lapse off again. It feels like they just have the constant lockdown to make sure that he's not allowed to escape.
Pause for Sniper. It's a brave new world.
Yeah, FY finally dipping his toes into the water.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
This is truly the worst timeline. We've got Corona. I heard we had UFOs the other day.
Radiant's
Now
bottom
we've got
tower
Position
has
4
fallen.
Sniper. I'm not sure it gets any worse than this.
You just need
2020, man.
the picture of that guy who's just doing the aliens. And that's all you need. Position 4 sniper. And it's just that picture.
Ooh,
Telekinesis, and there's the Assassinate that stuns up the Dragon Knight, so that gives Chalice a chance to try and go in on this, but the Dragon Tail hits and Ink Swell comes through, but the BKB's been popped by Schwan, so they get the first life away from the hands of the Gyrocopter. FY Assassinate up again. Who's he going to go after with this? It'll be up at both the Night Stalker as well as the DK. BKB's been popped by Chalice. They're going to go for this with the call down being used. And with the Soulbind pulling them back, they've got the X and they'll take out the DK. He doesn't have buyback to look over at SCCC. BKB's been popped. Shang-Chi forward, trying to get something out of this. But there's the Assassinate as well as the Stroke of Fate once again on the XSS. He needs to run back to the high ground and he'll be able to do so successfully. But the Torrent misses on SCCC. They still are without this DK, but they don't have a second life on Chalice. And they don't feel comfortable going for it.
just barely
At least for
managed
now.
to hold there.
They're going to send back the Gyro, get him to full health. He'll X and be pulled back. And fill
And
up the
fill up the Kunkka's bottle. That's efficiency right there. And he's doing it for all
Everybody's
his
getting
teammates.
a free ride.
You know, if they knew Nerf boots of travel, you make your own boots of travel.
Jesus.
Everybody coming right back into the game. You may have pulled your mic there. Oh, I
Me?
can hear you now. Yeah, you're fine. The PSG.LGD not quite managing to crack high ground there despite popping Aegis. I really thought that they would have been able to take that fight there.
Dire's top
Telescope
tower
coming
is
out
under
now.
attack.
Oh, telescope for the sniper. Oh my god. I can see everything. I can assassinate from anywhere. Jesus.
Radiant's top tower is
Is
under
this worse than
attack.
6.84 Mask of Madness?
No.
Dire's middle tower is
No.
under attack.
I remember those
Radiant's
days.
top tower has fallen.
Oh, sweet summer child.
I mean, he can just sit back so far and just ha 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 ha.
Radiant's
And
top
the
tower is
that
under
with the soul bind, it's pretty disgusting.
Those
It's
are my
fun.
trigger noises.
I love it.
Dire's
I'm
bottom
happy.
tower is under
I love
attack.
seeing it. I love seeing FY try something new. Assassinate comes in on SCCC. And he needs to be careful because, well, that cooldown, it ain't that high.
Does get back just a moment before the Kunkka's teleport finishes, so he does not get X'd. Does have a BKB now, though, so if he does need to get away from the X, he can't pop that.
Titan Sliver. He'll send that back. Hold on to the Mind Breaker. Oh! Stealing the Shield Crash. Swashbuckle missing though on a fade. A little bit of a ring around the rosy in the trees. Where it stops, nobody knows. And there's Rolling Thunder back and forth. You see who's coming. It's Sniper. Old 11 gets the kill as the Assassinate comes through to lock down that Rubik. And they've gotten themselves fade out of the game for 40.
While that was happening, Kunkka did go on the Weaver there, X'd him, and Weaver was forced to pop his BKB in order to get away. So his BKB is now on cooldown for this next fight.
Oh boy.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom
So let's see,
tower
how
is
far
under
back can you
attack.
sit a Sniper?
Yes.
That's disgusting. I can't even see the circle and I'm continuing to zoom out. Assassinate flies through, that's going to hit into the Dragon Knight. And now with the Willows down, can they continue to survive with this? They look to try and focus Chalice. They've got the Telekinesis as well as the bow coming in the Soulbind though. That breaks off of SCCC, I think. And now back onto him. The Assassinate hits both these heroes. Now SCC is just dead! 64 seconds, no buyback. The Assassinate went to both of them. They will get the kill here on the Chalice.
Yep, buyback
so they
now on the
do
Weaver.
take out the Gyrocopter. They've got the buyback available on the Weaver, but not the Gyro. So Assassinate flies in on XSS. This is making this fight so hard for Aster because now they lose the Night Stalker. He doesn't have buyback, and FY is continuing to just be a nuisance. He actually doesn't have mana for another Assassinate. That's how little mana he has. But they get the kill into the DK. He's gone for 77 seconds with no buyback. The BKB's been popped by SCCC. He goes into the time lapse, and he's trying to kill off Somnus as well as Old 11 as FY just sitting, waiting, wishing that he can get himself another Assassinate. But he'll take the free trip back to the well, fill up on mana, and come back into the fight in just a moment. So LGD might be looking to rock and roll once again. 36 seconds until the Gyrocopter's back up, and Old 11 is on the front lines looking to disrupt both all of Bobica, Fade, and SCCC. Phantom's Embrace. There's the X. They'll look for the Torrent. They land in with the Assassinate. FY takes out his target, and an immediate GG coming in from Aster after that. So with one shot on the gun, FY gets the GG call from Aster. Is it in your pubs? Because it feels like it's in everybody's pubs now.
I hate to see it, but they did it. The position 4 sniper, that Aghanim just felt so strong. Adding another disable in the game from such a huge range with tons of damage. Got some beautiful ults off with the Soulbind too. He did play it well. I'll give him that, but there was some amazing gameplay out of PSG.LGD as well. The Pangolier did amazing work this game with some of his Rolling Thunders and Swashbuckles and the Lucky Shots. Grimstroke played amazingly as well. These fights, it just felt like so heavily favored for PSG.LGD. Aster did all right in them. Like at the last fight where they dropped that Will-O-Wisp into the tier 3 tower there, they chain stunned the Gyrocopter so perfectly. He was disabled for like 8-9 seconds there. Just wasn't able to pop his BKB throw any of that either. And they still didn't manage to win the fight. It was just so heavily favored at that point.
It really just shows how good the Ags is on FY, but also what they were able to pair it up with. Because I think the Soulbind double Assassinate was really doing a lot of damage.